New Cerave skincare products we need to discuss. Well, hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing a new cleanser, a new moisturizer, and a new sunscreen from Cerave, one of my favorite skincare brands. This video is not sponsored and I purchased these myself. Now, if you are interested in a specific product, there are timestamps in the description box, so feel free to skip ahead. The Cerave Hydrating Foaming Oil Cleanser for dry to very dry skin. This product, or a version of it, has actually been available, I believe, in the European market for some time, but it is newer to the US market. This is a gentle, foaming, fragrance-free cleanser. It has squalane oil, an emollient. It also has sodium hyaluronate, a humectant, and it has, as usual, coming from Cerave, the 3 essential ceramides. Ceramides, if you aren't familiar, are lipids naturally found in your skin barrier. Applying them to your skin, either from a cleanser that deposits them or a moisturizer, that can actually help with repairing the skin barrier and helping with dry skin and sensitivity. This particular cleanser does not have niacinamide. Niacinamide is actually one of my favorite skincare ingredients, but I know some of you are sensitive to niacinamide. I have to say, I think they are being a bit liberal with the term oil. This is not an oil cleanser. Comment below if you are a fan of the double cleanse approach and if you love yourself a good oil cleanser. This is not an oil cleanser. It's more of a lightweight gel consistency. It produces a very gentle, mild foam. It rinses off clean and it does not leave the skin feeling tight, dry, or stripped. It actually leaves your skin feeling clean and hydrated. Something I have been really impressed with about this particular cleanser is that it actually does a very good job by itself at removing water-resistant sunscreen and makeup. You know, I'm someone who really loves to do a double cleanse, and I find that oil cleansers are really useful when it comes to breaking up the film of water-resistant sunscreen, allowing it to wash off a lot easier. So I was a bit hesitant to believe that this would do that. By itself, this cleanser actually removed my Color Science Face Shield Flex. Now, if you've ever used that product, it's a water-resistant tinted sunscreen that actually provides pretty decent cosmetic camouflage as well. In my experience, many cleansers will not cut it when it comes to removing that particular sunscreen. I almost always need an oil cleanser first. A lot of times I'll get out of the shower, and if I did not do an oil cleanse first, I can still actually see the tint of that particular sunscreen. This new Cerave cleanser actually removed that, and it removed mascara, eyeshadow. I have tried out many cleansers, micellar waters, cleansing oils, cleansing balms, makeup removers, and a true test is the mascara test. I was able to use just this cleanser in the shower, get out of the shower, and zero raccoon eyes. This is not a harsh cleanser. It's suitable for dry, sensitive skin. It's suitable for eczema, rosacea. While it's marketed for dry and very dry skin, I think those of you who have oily skin or combination skin would be well served by this cleanser. As illustrated by how good it is at removing at least water-resistant sunscreen, it's going to do a good job removing excess sebum on the skin surface, but without stripping the skin of moisturizing factors. In fact, it deposits hydrating ingredients behind. Ultimately, I think it's a great cleanser for a variety of skin types. I really think the marketing around this particular cleanser probably really speaks to a particular niche of consumers who maybe have trialed oil cleansers or cleansing balms in their routine in the past and found that they left a residue or felt oily and did not care for them. I think that you may appreciate this, but honestly, I think they're being super liberal with the term oil cleanser. To me, this is more of a gel cleanser with a gentle foam. Now, Cerave has a pretty extensive cleanser portfolio, and I have to say, for me personally, this one has stood out as a step up in comparison to some of the others in terms of its cleansing ability, its hydrating properties, and the fact that it removes a lot of the grime on its own, but it doesn't leave the skin feeling sensitive. I've gotten a lot of feedback from you guys over the years who have tried Cerave cleansers and find that they burn and sting. I think you're going to find that this is not that way. I really do think it represents an improvement upon some of their other cleansing formulas. Not that those are bad, I love them and recommend them, but I do think this is elevated. And the price point is not too bad. Now, I purchased this on Amazon and I got the value size, 19 ounces for $19.99. Fragrance free too, if I didn't mention that. This is easy to tolerate around the eyes. Now, obviously you don't want to get cleanser in your eye, but you can use this to remove eye makeup, no problem. Let's talk about their new ultra light moisturizing gel for all skin types. This is a facial moisturizer that is a very, very lightweight consistency. In fact, if If you blindfolded me, I would say, oh, are we using a serum? Because that is how lightweight it is. It has many of CeraVe's signature ingredients. Ceramides, which will be found in all of their products. Again, helpful for the moisture barrier. It has hyaluronic acid, hydrating. It also has glycerin, another hydrating ingredient. And it does have niacinamide. So for those of you who are sensitive to niacinamide, you don't get along with it, this is one you'll want to skip. Now, as I said, love niacinamide in moisturizers, sunscreens. It's helpful for a variety of skin concerns. Redness, hyperpigmentation. It has anti-aging benefits. It's an antioxidant, it's anti-inflammatory. It may help ward off skin yellowing. Niacinamide is helpful for people who have oily, acne-prone skin. It can complement your acne treatments in supporting clearance of your acne. Now, it's not an acne treatment, to be clear, but it does have evidence to support its use for people with acne. This also has dimethicone in it, which is going to help reduce water loss, but is not an occlusive ingredient that makes the skin feel greasy or oily. It's so lightweight that it absorbs really quickly, and it's the type of moisturizing product that I think people will enjoy who are either running into issues with moisturizers and products pilling. You have some other products in your skincare routine that you're going to layer on over this. It layers really nicely. It's a great lightweight hydrating moisturizer that you could use alongside your retinoids and not have the issue of pilling, especially if you're using like tretinoin gel, which I pointed this out in my video on tretinoin gel, prescription medication that often can pill if you use too much or you're using it alongside certain moisturizers. I think that this particular moisturizer will go nicely with the tretinoin gel formula. Folks who have oily skin and don't really need much of a moisturizer, I think you will enjoy this. In their portfolio of facial moisturizers, you also have CeraVe PM, which in my opinion is very, very similar in terms of what it's offering, the outcome of improved hydration, barrier function, reducing dry skin. The main difference, in my opinion, between the new ultra lightweight and the CeraVe PM is the ultra lightweight is super, super, super lightweight. CeraVe PM, though, in my experience, in using it and recommending it, is also pretty lightweight. So you're trading lightweight for super, super lightweight. For me personally, I see no reason myself to ever repurchase this because I'm just gonna go with CeraVe PM, because not only is it more or less the same thing for me, just the consistency is slightly different, but the new moisturizer, the Ultralight, is $20.99 for 1.75 ounces versus CeraVe PM, which is $14.99 for 3 ounces. Yeah, for me personally, I would just stick with CeraVe PM. I don't really see that, for me at least, the new ultra lightweight gel is really bringing anything to the table that was not already serving for me. Now, if you hate the consistency of the CeraVe PM, it's too thick for you, you find that it feels oily, uncomfortable, you may like this because it's super lightweight. Now, if you have really, really dry skin, and skin that's prone to dryness and irritation, especially, as we head into the colder months, fall and winter, depending on where you live, those are colder months, the air gets drier. This may not be adequate enough for your dry skin needs. It's very, very lightweight. It's the kind of thing that you might use and then layer another moisturizer on over, and at that point, you're kind of like going, what exactly is this adding to my routine? Now, let's talk about their new Hydrating Sheer Sunscreen. Broad spectrum, SPF 30, water resistant. This is a hybrid sunscreen. Hybrid sunscreens, in my opinion, are kind of a nice balance between mineral sunscreens, or aka inorganic, and chemical sunscreens, aka organic. Hybrid sunscreens will have a mineral active ingredient, in this case zinc oxide, and they will also have some organic, aka chemical active sunscreen ingredients. And I find that the nice thing about this is it kind of balances some of the less desirable properties of both. Hybrid sunscreens are less casty than all mineral sunscreens. Hybrid sunscreens are a lot less irritating, less likely to sting and burn in comparison to the all organic sunscreens, especially around the eyes. I've never had an issue tolerating a hybrid sunscreen to my eyelids, whereas many all organic sunscreen formulas, at least those here in the US, they can run into your eyes and be blinding. This is great in that regard. I love that it's water resistant because for me here in the humidity, I do like to have a water resistant formula. The inactive ingredients in this are in keeping with the CeraVe storylines, ceramide, glycerin. This does have niacinamide, which, if you tolerate it, is a wonderful ingredient to have in your sunscreens because it plays a supporting role in, hopefully lessening the burden of oxidative stress in the skin upon exposure to not only UV, but environmental stressors. It's also a helpful ingredient for fading and preventing hyperpigmentation and redness. It's anti-inflammatory, so it's a good ingredient to have in a sunscreen, provided you tolerate it. What does this actually look like on the skin? There is a subtle white cast. For me, it's consistent with every hybrid sunscreen I ever use. It's not super noticeable. I'm showing you here the B-roll of me putting it on. You can see as I get close up to the camera, you definitely can see some white film on my skin, and that really doesn't fade too much as the product dries down. It's still there. It's barely noticeable on me. If you wear makeup, which as a side note, this layers well under makeup, it's the kind of thing that you can easily camouflage. But if you have a deeper skin tone, this likely will show up on your skin. It's not going to be as bad as CeraVe's all mineral sunscreen, but it definitely will show up. This is a dewier finish. If you want a matte sunscreen, this is not for you. It does have that shiny, dewy finish. In terms of its consistency, is very fluid, almost like a liquid. And I have to say, one thing I really appreciate about this is the packaging. I run into this issue from time to time with sunscreens in tubes like this, where depending on how the tube is shaped and the nozzle is constructed, you can get a lot of backflow and leakage and mess. You actually have to squeeze the tube to get product out, which I like. It's not a leaky nozzle. I can't stand that. You end up wasting product, it makes a mess, gets on your clothing inevitably. Isn't that ironic? Like, you're supposed to reapply sunscreen, it rubs off your skin, but dang, it will not come off of clothing. So this bottle is really, really nice. Really, it doesn't waste product. It's easy to get out. Goes on around the eyes easily. This is a great option if you have sensitive skin, rosacea. However, if you're looking to fade hyperpigmentation, I do encourage you to lean into a tinted sunscreen. That way you're getting the benefits of the iron oxide for visible light. But I think this would be a good option for those of you who have very sensitive skin, rosacea, acne prone skin. I mean, there's nothing about this or anything in these products at all that is contraindicated for acne, as is the case, honestly, with all skincare. There's not a skincare product on the market, a skincare formula, an ingredient per se, that is indicative of problems for acne. It really is not. So I point that out because people come to these videos seeking, is this safe for acne prone skin? There's really nothing about a skincare product that predicts safe versus unsafe for acne. It's very individualized in terms of what aggravates acne, as well as other skin conditions like rosacea, atopic dermatitis. I mean, it's not in a brand's best interest to make acne unfriendly products. I honestly would repurchase this product because let's compare it to the closest thing in their portfolio, and that is CeraVe AM. CeraVe AM, like this, is a hybrid sunscreen. Like this is SPF 30. Unlike this, CeraVe AM is not water resistant, and unlike this, the CeraVe AM product is more of a creamy lotion. There's more texture to CeraVe AM. This is more of a liquid. This product, in my experience, spreads a lot more easily on the skin. I think it's an upgrade to CeraVe AM. It's easier to spread. It's more efficient to spread. You don't have to spend a lot of time trying to make sure that you don't have patchy application, which sometimes I have found can happen with CeraVe AM, is that you really, you kind of need to take your time with that product. And I've gotten a lot of feedback over the years that CeraVe AM pills for people, especially if you're in a hurry. This product does not do that. It goes on the skin a lot more easily in comparison to CeraVe AM. And for me personally, I really appreciate that water resistance factor as someone living in a really humid climate. And I do encourage everyone to use a water resistant formula when you're going to be outdoors participating in sport, where you're sweating a lot, or if you are at all doing any kind of water-based activities. So I really think that overall, it is an upgrade from CeraVe AM in terms of consistency, application smoothness, and the ingredient family is very similar. They're both hybrid sunscreens. The other difference between the two is that the CeraVe AM, the organic filters, there's one like slightly different one. I think it has moramidate in it, whereas this does not. So, the filters are not identical, but they're both hybrid sunscreens. I honestly think that the casts are very similar between the two. Now, Cerave AM is a bit less shiny in comparison to this, which the shine, the dewiness, that never bothers me, but I know it's something that a lot of you hate. So you may not care for that. Price varies a lot. Right now on Amazon, it's only $13.97 for 3 ounces. I say only, but that's actually pretty good. A lot of drugstore sunscreens these days with inflation have gotten really expensive. I think that's a pretty good price point. And it's 3 ounces. So in contrast to the ultralight moisturizing gel, which I thought was a bit too expensive, this one is actually, you know, pretty affordable. But generally speaking, I think kind of the going rate for this particular sunscreen is $18 for 3 ounces, which still isn't bad. I mean, there's a lot more behind this formula that warrants the price point in comparison to that ultralight moisturizing gel. I mean, if you think about it, they've got to do the SPF testing, they've got to do the water resistant testing. Formulating a sunscreen is tough work. So to me, like, I can see the justification here, and you're getting 3 ounces. It can be used on the face and the body. It's adequately moisturizing, that it's a great product for your daytime moisturizer. So I really like it in that regard. So those are the new products from Cerave. I really like all of these actually, but for me personally, I don't really see that the new ultralight gel is really bringing much to the table, for me at least, in my skincare routine. I would much prefer to just stick with Cerave PM, but on the flip side, this new hybrid sunscreen, in my opinion, is an upgrade from Cerave AM. The cleanser is unique in comparison to some of their others in that I think it's less likely to burn or sting. It's more effective than some of their other cleansers at removing water-resistant sunscreen and at least the type of makeup that I wear. Now, if you wear a heavy foundation, I can't promise you that you're not still going to need a makeup removing balm or a cleansing oil to get that off. But for me, you know, the fact that it was able to get off that Color Science Face Shield Flex, I really think it has a great potential to be a standalone cleanser. And I get a lot of feedback from people like, I don't want to do the oil cleansing thing, the cleansing balm, the double cleanse. Just point me to a cleanser that'll take off my water resistant sunscreen. Like, I get that feedback too from a lot of male consumers. Like, I don't really, you know, I'm not wearing makeup. For days that I wear water resistant sunscreen, I want something that's gonna take it off easily and I don't have to think about it. This would be a great option to try out. It's very good, but it doesn't leave the skin stripped, dry, or irritated. All right, y'all, I hope this video was helpful. Let me know in the comments, have you tried any of these? Have you had your eye on any of them? Yeah, let me know in the comments, but if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.